Welcome back to the Giant Monster Games 2017 Advent Calendar. Today is day number 17, which means we are almost to the top 10 decks, but we are not there yet. And I need to give a big sorry to Mr. Tate because we are doing Heartless Myr today. Yesterday, you commented that as long as Heartless Myr makes it into the top 10, you'll be happy. I'm sorry about that. For those that don't know, Heartless Myr is a combo deck trying to get Heartless Summoning into play and then play 2 Myr Retrievers, because Heartless Summoning makes all of our creatures cost 2 less, but it also gives them -1/-1. So when we play Myr Retriever, the creature immediately dies and goes to the graveyard. But its ability when it dies is return another target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So as soon as we have 2 Myr Retrievers, one can be in our graveyard, one can be in our hand, once we play it, it dies, goes to the graveyard, returns another card, specifically another Myr Retriever. It goes back to our hand, we play it, we return the Myr Retriever, and we do this as many times as we'd like, because now, at this exact point, we have infinite number of permanents, creatures entering the battlefield, and then also things dying, specifically creatures dying, in infinite amount of time. So we can just do this over and over and over again. So how do we actually win with this? Well, we have 2 options. First is Altar of the Brood, and second is Falconwrath Noble. Altar of the Brood we're playing 4 of, and Falconwrath Noble is a single of, plus we have an additional 1 in the sideboard if we need it as a backup plan. Altar of the Brood is whenever another permanent enters the battlefield, in this case Heartless Myr is entering a million of them over and over and over again, each opponent puts the top card of his or her library into their graveyard. So we don't even have to target our opponent, so our opponent can have hexproof, we don't mind, it doesn't matter, Altar of the Brood still mills them. Falconwrath Noble on the other hand is whenever another creature dies, target player loses 1 life and we get to gain 1 life. So this is basically a beefier version of Blood Artist, but the big upside is this doesn't die to Heartless Summoning, which is why we're not playing Blood Artist in the first place, because Blood Artist would just die to Heartless Summoning, where Falconwrath Noble does not. So this is basically the game plan of the deck. If you want to see an entire deck tech, like always, up in the top right hand corner, you can go and watch that. Heads up though, the gameplay for this deck, the ones I did, are amongst the worst videos I've ever put up on the channel. So go watch them with discretion and realize that I think this was the first time I ever played on MTGO was while I was recording those videos. So anyways, let's throw it over to some better gameplay by yours truly, myself, as I now play this deck once again, reviving my role as Combo Master Adrian. Now, here is a deck that is, this is a terrible opening hand. I was going to say something interesting and witty, but instead I'm going to look at this and be like, wow, we have a Myr Retriever and triple Heartless Summoning. That doesn't work. Doesn't work. I want to keep it though. I mean, like, this is a really good opening hand for land-wise, because this deck does not have a good land base. This is actually a quite budget deck. We're going to risk it, but this is really hard to bite. This is a really, really, really hard pill to swallow right here. Anyways, as I was saying, Heartless Myr combo. There's a whole bunch of decks like this actually out there. Not exactly like this, but decks that are using Heartless Summoning. And what do we fake? What do we fake? We fake black. Decks that are using Heartless Summoning to do something bigger and better and more badassier. And what is this? We're playing something or other. Something or other. Okay. Thought Scour is nice. Do I Thought Scour now? If we Thought Scour ourselves, that's not a bad idea. Let's do that. Let's go to our opponent's turn. We're going to Thought Scour ourselves, and then we're going to hopefully dump a Myr Retriever into the graveyard. So I quickly explained what this deck is trying to do. Is you're trying to loop Myr Retriever infinite amount of times. Ooh. Something or other indeed. Face down cards cost 1 less to cast. That's exciting. So, hey, we have it. Oh, no, I forgot to Thought Scour on our opponent's turn. I suck at life. Well, in the meantime, we will go like this. We will Heartless Summoning, Altar of the Brood, and then we're going to... Actually, good thing we didn't Thought Scour, because we would have put Altar of the Brood into the graveyard. So the idea is going to be that we are going to try and get a Heartless Myr into our graveyard. Ship to our opponent's turn, by the way. Heartless Myr into the graveyard, and then when we play this Heartless Myr for free, because it costs 2 less, it immediately dies when it comes into play. We get to return the Heartless Myr that's in our graveyard, and then we have infinite creatures entering the battlefield. Morph creature. Fun times. Additionally, whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, in this case, Heartless Myr creature tokens, Heartless Myr, not creature tokens, Heartless Myrs in general, this card, going to keep coming into play, we get to put the top card of our opponent's library into the graveyard, and we're going to aim to mill them out entirely. So, Swamp, we were going to try and mill ourselves. Do we get the Heartless Myr? Is it a Heartless Myr? It's a Myr Retriever. That means we already got it. Well, GG opponent. So we cast a Heartless Myr. This is really funny. I very rarely see a turn 4 go off on this deck, but it does happen. This is like the perfect scenario. So you go first. Returning, yes. Oh, I should always yield to these. I need to set the yields on these, or otherwise it's going to be insane. Always yield. Okay. And then we just do this again, and again, and again, and again. Wish I could auto set those ones as well, but I can't. So yeah, so I'm gonna do this until our opponent's deck. Oh, our opponent gets it. Yes, this is what you need to be. If you're gonna play, this is what you need to do. Cool. Thank you so much for conceding their opponent. There's nothing worse than an opponent being like, sure, you can do that. I'll just sit here all day. Our opponent decided to leave the game. Well, we're going to show you another game. I'm going to show you another game because you guys saw exactly what this deck is supposed to do in game 1, and I'll try and play a game 2. We are going to play another match. Hopefully, see what this deck does more so later in the late game. And I think we keep this. I mean, obviously, we are a combo deck. What happened the first game we played there is exactly what we want to have happen like every single time, where we just want to get the pieces together, and then boom, 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 we mill our opponent for a million. And hopefully our opponent is like, oh, I see what you're doing. I will concede because I don't need to be a jerk and let you play the entire thing out. Hey, we got a lot of the pieces to the puzzle already. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a swamp or an island in our hand. So I think we play Drowned Catacombs and then ship it to our opponent. We have all these are coming in tapped, which is really painful. Really, really painful. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so it's blue something or other. It's playing Opt, which means it could be a Storm deck. Could be a Mirror match. Probably not a Mirror match. No Lightning Greaves though. What is our opponent playing? Interesting times. Interesting times to live in, that's for sure. Now, okay, so now we can actually play Choked. Revealing the Island comes into play untapped, thankfully. And I think we're just going to throw down the... Do we throw down the Heartless Summoning right now? Here's the question. I haven't played this deck in a while, so I'm kind of like, which is the better bet? Muddle and Mixture, we need to save because we need to pull up the Myr Retrievers. But I think the Heartless Summoning... Nah, I think it's going to be double Alter the Brood. I mean, Heartless Summoning isn't any good right now. It's just, it'll come into play and then do nothing. Where these guys, Heartless Summoning that is, Alter the Brood on the other hand, will actually start doing its thing. Where we'll start putting cards into our opponent's graveyard right away. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I mean, now when we play the Heartless Summoning next turn, we'll actually get to mill our opponent for 2, which is fun. This is a mill deck, by the way. Some people were asking like, hey, you should make a blue-black mill deck. Ta-da! I made you a mill deck. Have fun. It's actually pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. I like it playing combo. Oh, sweet, another one? I say sweet, but I'm like, I don't really need it, but I don't really need it. Land comes into play, we mill our opponent. Probably should have played the other Alter the Brood first. Well, we'll play the other Alter the Brood. And as much as I would like to keep up Dispel, I think actually just playing another Heartless Summoning is gonna be the best bet here. Bam, bam. Look at all this. Oh, cancel. Cancel all that. I need black mana. Why don't you just automatically select black mana? I don't know. So yeah, so that's a bunch of triggers. Whenever stuff comes into play, we're yielding on all of them, so it just automatically happens. So yeah, so this is what happens. Fun times. Fun times. Opponent's deck is getting quite thin now. They have some interesting stuff in here. Whenever your opponent to draw a card, oh nice, that's fun. So this is a neat blue-black control deck, I guess. Go to our opponent's turn. See what happens. If they have Snapcaster Mage or something of the sort, this would be really handy for them. Oh no, bad opponent. You do not want to do that. That just lost you the game. Our opponent decided to Thought Scour us, tossing a Myr Retriever into our graveyard. Oh boy. Bad times. I think you literally just... our opponent literally just lost the game. He doesn't even know it, but he lost the game. He doesn't know it, but he just lost the game. Putting a Myr Retriever in our graveyard, accidentally in this case, is the worst thing you can possibly do. Okay, so our opponent is going to swing in for 2 damage. I don't mind. That's fine. We're gonna mill you out right now, anyways, because that's what this deck is designed to do. So play this. Cool beans. Transmute. Does not matter what. It needs to be blue, blue, something or other. Blue, blue, blue. Searching up another Myr Retriever. Bazinga. Bazanga. I win the game. And then we do this thing where we do Myr Retrievers. I wish I could just auto. Is there like an auto select? I wish there was an auto select. Oh, there we go. Opponent sees what happens, and they say let's go to sideboard. Excellent, thank you, opponent. And where opponent has some kind of weird stuff. So weird, in fact, I think we're gonna do the double Falcon Wrath Noble, and we're gonna take out a single Mull Drifter, even though Mull Drifter is quite nice. And we take out Dispels. No, he's running like. I think we can get rid of Dispel. No, I think we have to leave in Dispel. And I'm actually kind of hemming and hawing. I don't even know if I need to keep in the Falcon Wrath Noble, actually. Because it's kind of like a control deck. So I think putting in, or taking out what? Shred Memory might be a good one to pull out. Yeah. Pull out a single Shred Memory, put in another Dispel. Because I'm assuming he's going to side in some kind of hate. Put in double Dispels. And submit it back like that. He's going to be putting in some kind of counter spells. I mean, he's blue-black. So he will likely try and counter our stuff, is going to be his game plan. That's how he's going to be trying to deal with stuff like Heartless Summoning and Alter the Broods and stuff like this. So, yeah. Let's see what our opponent thinks. Our opponent has decided to go first. We have a really heavy land hand, but we do have some good stuff in here. Thought Scour is always nice. Alter the Brood's always nice. We can keep this. It's not a risky keep this time. The big thing is because we would like to have more land. We'd like to have more mana. Oh, there we go. Yeah, well, there goes our Thought Scour. Good first play. Duress, always good first play. No, he's going to take Alter the Brood. Also a good call. I mean, Falcon Wrath Noble is the backup win condition, which we put another one in. Because why not have a backup win condition? Backup win condition. And we have another Alter the Brood. I think we're going to... I'm really tempted to Thought Scour on our turn, but I'm also thinking I'm just going to throw an Alter the Brood. Toss out an Alter the Brood. There you go, opponent. Have fun. And now we play the waiting game. Does our opponent have a response? In his... What the heck is this? Snooze you. Goodbye. Apparently I have updates from my computer. One day I'll do them. One day. I wish you could do... I mean, yeah. One day I'll do them. Not today, though. Okay, so our opponent plays and passes. I'm assuming they're sitting on a mana leak or something of the sort. Which is not surprising. And we'll reveal one of the many islands. Always yielding this guy. Slowly... Oh, Thing in the Ice. That is a really good win condition for our opponent's deck. Blue-black control with Thing in the Ice. Nice. Well done. I approve. And I think we just ship it to our opponent's turn, and then we're going to Thought Scour on their end step. Because why not? Oh, he's going to do something. He's Thought Scouring us. Ooh, Mull Drifter, Shred Memory. Both delicious cards. And we're probably going to Thought Scour our opponent rather than ourselves. Just because, I mean, I need to draw into the pieces. I don't have them yet, so I'd rather not dump them into the library, into the graveyard. Example, Mull Drifter would have been a fantastic card to draw, because we could have just invoked it to draw 2 cards. Which would have been nice. Would have been nice. And what is our opponent playing? Lost Legacy. That's fun. Let's Thought Scour our opponent. Draw cards. But he's going to call... What he's going to call? He's going to call probably Heartless Summoning. Which makes our life a lot more difficult. I think it's substantially more difficult. Lost Legacy is definitely one of the ways that this deck gets murdernated. Again, we do have backup wins. But not very many of them. Not very many at all. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. So, we're not really going to go aim to mill our opponent anymore. We're really going to be aiming to kind of swing for damage. So, Perilous Mill and Falcon Wrath Noble. definitely going to be cards that we're going to have to play and then use them for their extremely strong attack abilities. You know, this guy being a 2/2 for 4, which is really good. Amazingly good, in fact. Heartless Myr. Ooh, man. 1/1 for 2. Mind you, we can sack when it dies, it deals damage. So, theoretically, Falcon Wrath Noble. I mean, it also is flying, right? Falcon Wrath Noble, so it can block creatures with flying. Not as good as Stormcrow, but close. Close. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I have, like, Stormcrow's younger brother, which one day might turn into Stormcrow. I mean, and the nice thing as well, whenever when other stuffed creatures die, another creature dies. This is like a worse version of Blood Artist. The reason why this, oh yeah, by the way, so people ask this all the time. People ask this like way more than I feel comfortable with them asking. Is why do I play this guy instead of Blood Artist? Because Blood Artist is a 0/1, which means as soon as you have Heartless Summoning in play, it immediately dies. So it doesn't really work. And what did he name? What did he name? He named something wrong. Tari Kaslaskar, named Heartless Summoning for Lost Legacy, but he didn't exile anything. That's weird. I think our opponent misplayed. As in, he forgot to grab stuff. Because he actually named Lost Legacy, but didn't exile any of them. So that's weird. Okay. I will say okay to that, I guess. And at this point, I think we go... Yeah, I think we're going to go Serum Visions. Land. Don't want either of those. Put on bottom. Put on bottom. We also drew a land, which is really terrible as well. Well, let's play the Heartless Myr. Fun fact, I used to call this guy Prialess because reading is difficult for me. Legit, like actually difficult for me. The thing is, if he blows this thing up, it doesn't really, like, sure, it gets rid of a 1/1, it could be swinging in for damage, but it also, you know, deals 2 damage to our opponent's face, which I think is funny. Okay. I think it was going to go straight to our turn. So, our opponent must be like, my control deck doesn't work how it's supposed to against this deck that I'm playing. So we do Choke Gestury, revealing an island. And I think we just play Falcon Wrath. No, we don't. We do not play Falcon Wrath Noble. He has enough mana. He's playing a control deck. He's just gonna he's gonna counter it. We need to hold up the spell for said counter. So I think we just go to combat, swing for numero uno, and then ship it to our opponent's turn. Let's see how this plays out. I feel very posh, very proper. And, ooh, playing a creature with flash. That's always fun. I mean, if he wants to block it, I'm okay with that. I'll maybe block with this guy. So then, so this is if our opponent would draw an extra card, right? So if an opponent would draw a card, except for the first one he or she draws each turn, you draw that card instead. Fun. So our opponent's going to mill us a little bit. Milling away a Mana Leak and a Swamp, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with both of those, to be quite honest. Both of them. And Witchbane Orb. That doesn't get countered by this. Can we deal with that? I think we can. It's we definitely have to go with this guy though. Oh, this targets player. Huh. Can we win right now? I think the answer is no. Didn't expect a Witchbane Orb. That's for sure. Like, no one plays Witchbane Orb except for me and my decks. Oh no, what have I started? People are gonna play Witchbane Orb all over the place now. Yeah, well, we can't block that. What have we done? We've shown people that Witchbane Orb is the super budget version of Leyline of Sanctity, and people are using it. Which is good. I mean, there's other options out there. Okay, so here's a problem. The problem is that if we play Muldrifter, we would draw... Where he's going to draw cards, not us. That's a problem. That is a big problemino. Hold on. This is each opponent, so we just need to play stuff. So really all we need to do. So let's play Falconwrath Noble. And then we'll just ship it to our opponent's turn. He can't attack in with this guy. So, beans to you, my friend. If he attacks in with this guy, we just literally kill it. So, at this point, we can literally just slowly mill our opponent down because we just mill cards from our opponent, not necessarily from us. So, making him draw cards with Muldrifter might not be a bad idea. Other than the fact it gives him more options. Okay. Guess we'll go Island Myr Retriever, I guess. Why not? Oh, no. No, no, no. Yep. And let's go to combat, and we'll swing it with the... Oh, do I swing with the Perilous Myr? Perilous Myr? Do I swing with the Perilous one? I think we do. I think we swing with both these guys, actually. Sure. See if he wants to block. I'm assuming he doesn't. Nope. He does not want to swing in and block. And we're not going to play Muldrifter. We're not going to play Muldrifter. We're going to wait till we're a little bit farther in, till we've milled our opponent a little bit farther. And he's blowing up his own... Okay. He's blowing up his swamp. Apparently he needs another blue. Maybe for a... is it a blue? No, he gets another swamp. No more blue. Just trying, I guess he's trying to thin out his library and draw into more relevant stuff. I guess. I mean, that's a risky move. I would say that is a very risky move, especially when you're playing against a deck that is aiming to mill you out. It's super risky. By the way, if he swings into this guy, we're gonna just chump block with this guy, because if he dies, we get to return our Altar of the Brood, which is always fun. Nope, he does not want to attack in. Ah, I'm sad. I'm sad you don't attack in, opponent. And I guess we play the Swamp. And 32 cards. He's only halfway there. He's only halfway there. Let's do the thing where we swing in with a bunch. What do we swing in with? These two? I guess? Theoretically? No, maybe not. Do I swing with these two guys? I think the answer is no. I think we swing with Falconwrath and this guy. The thing about playing Muldrifter is Muldrifter has flying, which means we technically have a 2-2. We'll do it next turn after we've milled up on a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And we'll actually make him draw 2 cards as well, which is what I'm actually kind of less excited about. And the things we can do it and still hold up mana from before mana leak. Opponent playing more land. And what is he going to play? What does our opponent decide to play? It is going to be a... Drum roll, please. Brrr. I'm going to say Fatal Push, but does he really want to Fatal Push these things? I guess he does. I, too, want you to Fatal Push that. Do you know why? Because we drain ourselves, for one, sure. But we also get to return back Altar of the Brood, which does make me happy. Oh, he's going to extirpate in response. Ooh, he's going to extirpate the... Ooh, Myr Retriever. Neat. Okay, well, that's fine. I'm okay with that. So, goodbye, Myr Retrievers. He didn't grab our Heartless Summoning, which blows my mind a little bit. But he did grab this. We still get back Altar of the Brood, though. Which is okay, because that's how we're going to win the game anyways. So, okay. Altar of the Brood comes to our hand. We drain ourselves for 1. Go to our turn. Opponent can swing in for 3 if he really wants. He decides he doesn't want to. Neat. Well, we can't play Heartless Summoning. It's not really worth it for us. But we can play an Altar of the Brood. Now, here's the big question. Do we play Muldrifter? It gives him 2 cards, which means he may get more stuff. I think we actually do play Muldrifter. Because then we can kind of try and go in on the potentially just deal damage plan, as well as the mill plan, and then on top of that we get like double mill. Mill, mill, mill. And these all cards all go to our opponent, by the way. So that's a thing. So our opponent draws 2 cards, which is fine. I'm okay with that. And Heartless Summoning is actually a dead card in our hand, by the way. So we should actually be doing 2, not 5. Pass until response. So opponent decides to play Duress. Well, there goes our Dispel. Dispel gets to go away. Goodbye, Dispel. Thanks for coming out. It was nice seeing you. Come for coffee again, Dispel, because you will help us out in the long run in this game. Our opponent is slowly being milled away, which is super funny. This has went from cool combo, super fast win to really grindy game, slow win. So what is our opponent going to do? This guy. Each player discards their hand and draws the cards equal to the race number. That is okay with me, because at this point I kind of just need to be getting things into play. Again, not playing Heartless Summoning. I think we're just swinging for both these guys, though. So let's... Or do I? I mean, we can try and still go on the still making our opponent mill their deck away. I mean, we're two-thirds the way there. Or we can go for the slow damage plan. I think we're just going to go for the slow damage plan. Slowly swinging with creatures with flying. Flyers are a thing. Because this is also a slow clock for him as well, right? I mean, 4 damage a turn is not something to take lightly. And the fact that we can, like, chump block either of these guys and kill either of these guys is also a thing that our opponent can't just kind of say, or whatever to. That's not a possibility. Okay. Please make us discard our hands. I would love to draw 2 cards. Mostly because I need more impermanence. Specifically, land would be great. And our opponent is playing something big. It is going to be each player discards all cards in his or her hand, then draws that many -1. Okay. So I just discard my Heartless Summoning, which I'm never going to play anyways. I mean, if it was literally the last card, if you had 2 cards in his deck, I would consider playing it. Or if I had like a bunch of them and I just play all of them in a row, boop, 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 and mill our opponent down, then sure. Opponent decides still not to swing in, which is fine by me. Again, Heartless Summoning. Oh, thank you, opponent. That helps me out a lot, actually. Oh, and I don't get to draw cards, but, which is funny. I just realized I don't draw cards. He draws extra cards. But the fact that we're aiming to mill our opponent down it is not a good thing that he's like constantly draining himself. He's just like he's milling himself for us by draining extra cards. It's a cool combo though. I see what you're doing now. I see what's actually going on. He's aiming to like get this kind of soft lock in where he's drawing value nonstop. It's fun. I like this deck. I like what our opponent is playing. I approve of this blue-black control deck. I think it's actually quite good. And I think you could actually probably make a pretty decent budget version of this. The only cards in here that are actually like reasonably expensive. Thing in the Ice is reasonably expensive. There's Thing in the Ice, by the way. Reasonably expensive. Extirpate is not cheap. Fatal Push is definitely not cheap. Especially not those ones. Those are the fun ones. And opponent needs to play a bunch of spells to flip Thing in the Ice. The thing is, Thing in the Ice is also going to bounce his stuff as well. So that's a thing. And this is creatures. Hey! Island. Aww. Oh, he's got a soft lock on. I see what's going on. I see what it is now. I see what it is. Okay, well, let's swing in with everything, I guess. Our opponent blocks and dies? This is our opponent losing the game, I guess? No, he can block with the wall. He can block with the wall. That's okay. He still goes down to 1 life. Which is fine by me. Does he have an out? That is the next question. Because next turn we're going to swing in... I mean, if he can play 4 spells next turn, which might be a possibility, or by the end of next turn, might be a possibility. And if he does play 4 spells, he can actually make us go, these things all go away. So our opponent actually might be able to deal with this one. Might actually be able to deal with it. He just needs to play 4 spells. There's Thought Scour. Okay, this is bad news for us. Bad news bears. He might have got us. He might have just got the lock, the full-on lock. Does he have it? the thing is, when he flips, he doesn't get access to these anymore. Dark Petition. Search your library for a card with the... Search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Spell Mastery. He gets to do it twice. Oh no, it adds 3 mana to his mana pool. Fair enough. The thing is, if he does flip Thing in the Ice, these guys go back to our hands, and then these guys are no longer in play. So, what ends up happening is he doesn't get the soft lock anymore. So he loses the soft lock with once... well, it's actually not really a soft lock, it's a pretty solid lock. Like, literally, your opponent can't play anything else. Good deck. Good deck. See what our opponent's got, though. They need one more to flip everything back to our opponent, to our hand. They're at 11 cards as well in their deck, which is also really funny for me. Very funny for me. And he definitely put another Heartless Summoning into our graveyard. Opponent, nothing too... I'm just gonna leave this up here now. Opponent has nothing too interesting in their graveyard. So it's just more of the same. Control, control, more control. Fatal Push, there we go. What exactly is he targeting with Fatal Push? He's targeting his own Thing in the Ice. Huh. Oh, because he has to. That's funny. Very funny. So, I guess at this point he has a single black mana. He's going to exile my graveyard? I guess? That's a thing. Oh, he's gonna Angler. That's nice. That's a fun thing. Now, what do we draw? We draw another Altar of the Brood. Interesting. Well, let's play Altar of the Brood. We have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7. Might be the way to go. Let's try Maul Drifter first, I guess. So, or we can actually cast it with Invoke. Because it's what Invoke is once it enters the battlefield, if you do sacrifice it. So, might as well cast it for Invoke. Why not? So 1, 2, 3, I guess. All of these triggers. All of them. Click on all of them. So we Invoke, which means we sacrifice it immediately. We get a Drowned Estuary. Does not matter. We cancel that. We don't really... Do we Serum Visions? Yeah, we can Serum Visions. Serum Visions is a safe call. Put on bottom, put on top. Oh, opponent's giving us the GGs. He's saying GGs. He knows. You can go top library. He knows that it is time to go home and go back to bed. And that's it. Ship it to our opponent's turn, and they draw 0 cards. So we did go on the mill plan, even though we got our opponent down to 1, which is super funny. GG, opponent. You draw a card, you lose the game. Well, thanks for watching. This has been a Heartless Myr combo. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's a really long, drawn-out game. Anyways, until next time, my name's Adrian. Thanks for watching the Advent Calendar videos. And don't forget to game like a giant monster. Thanks for watching the GiantMonsterGames Advent Calendar. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe if you like this video and want to see more videos just like it. A huge shout out to all of the Patreon supporters. You guys are helping make videos like this, and if you want to pick this deck up, there is a link below with an affiliate link so you can grab this entire deck on MTGO.